Good afternoon. This is Wednesday, October 9, 2024. It is 1 p.m. and time for Clark County's council time. We begin with councilor roll call. Please, staff.
Councillor Young,
Here.
still looking for Councillor Belcott. Councillor Bowerman,
Present.
Councillor Marshall,
Here.
and we're looking for Chair Medvigi. I'll keep checking.
Thank you very much. We do have a quorum with 3 of us here. Are there any amendments to the agenda?
None. Thank you.
Public comment. And I remind you again that this is on agenda items only. Those items that are on the agenda, in fact, that is before you right now. Are there any people signed up to speak?
Yes, we do. We have Kimberly Goheen Elbin.
Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, Kimberly Goheen Elbin, live citizen of Clark County, Washington, USA. So I was here in town at 8 o'clock this morning. I do want to say why I'm here. I'm concerned, excuse me, about the minutes being passed today of September 25th, since that's on the agenda, that during councilor reports, counselor, and I'm going to read it because it is on the record or on the agenda today. Council member Bowerman stated that she has had more complaints from the community than normal about members of the public attending meetings and their public comments who basically waste time by establishing negativity and interfering with council business. She is requesting that legal investigate this type of communication and asked if this can be stopped before it starts so people continue to attend council meetings. Legal has already been looking into this issue and plan to have a report for council next week. Mr. Medvigi also piped up and apologized for his laxed not allowing, I guess, me, the speaker, the citizen speaking, making political statements during public comment. I'd like to state that the policies here in this local government do not trump the Constitution of the United States of America. I have a right to speak, especially on open public comment. It is on record many, many times that Chair Medvigi has interrupted me on an open public comment. This is the start, and there's nobody here. You don't have a quorum of citizens here, that's for sure, to witness this. And isn't that wonderful how it goes along with the 4-year pandemic that the people are trying to heal? What a great plan. I'm only asking the people to stand up like I am. I'm going to stand up for my First Amendment rights. I don't need my Second Amendment rights right now. And I'm going to also state that Michelle Belcott is absent again today. She was absent on September 25th. She's been absent almost half of her tenure, and I care about her, but we need people that are going to be here because especially when she,
That is not on the agenda.
Oh, well, her absence is, ma'am, and so I appreciate that. But then you also are going to be passing a lot of things today. As I want to make note here, I'm going to just take my time because frankly, 3 minutes isn't long enough, is it? But this is how citizens like me get treated when we're trying to just wake up the people to what our form of government's doing. And frankly, this is my council meeting. You're here to partake in it. I have a right to be here, and I always will. God has put me on duty, and that's how it's going to be. So anyway, is it this council's on there was fireworks data brought up. Is your desire to use hard-earned tax dollars to bring America's greatest fireworks of display of independence back to Clark County, Washington,
That
USA?
concludes your time.
God bless
Thank
America.
you.
Thank you.
Are there others who wish to testify? And I see Chair Medvigi is here. Please, the meeting is yours to chair.
Thank you, Karen. And I'm sorry I'm late. I was trying to log in and I just couldn't. I would just want to comment just for the public. rules of procedure follow the U.S. Constitution and the state constitution and the law. The speaker that just last spoke has a real misunderstanding of the U.S. Constitution and always has expressed that to the detriment of others. The U.S. Supreme Court, the U.S. Constitution has always recognized time and place restrictions. The inability to yell, if you will, fire in a crowded theater, dangerous speech, criminal speech, threats. I don't know what the reference to the Second Amendment was, but it certainly could have been taken as a threat. So criminal speech is firmly structured within the Constitution as a limitation of the First Amendment. So we have reasonable rules in place to have a good and orderly business meeting that isn't offensive to the public in general. And as to political speech, oh my gosh, how awful it would be if we were to hear from every political party touting their candidate or the evils of the other candidate. This isn't a town square. Time and manner are strictly prescribed, and I'm sorry that speaker just has no understanding of the U.S. Constitution and the limits of the First Amendment. So let's go on. Are there any other speakers in the audience?
And while you're waiting for that response, staff, if you'd please note the presence of Counselor Belcott. I can see her online and I'm not sure if you can or not. So I wanted to mention that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And
Counselor Berman.
we did mark Counselor Belcott as being present.
Thank you.
And Chair Medveji, we do not have anybody in the audience or online. So that ends public comment.
Super. Thanks for that. So I guess I missed the councilor roll call, but Karen just cleaned that up. Thank you, Karen. Any amendments to, I guess you already made
There are no amendments.
The minutes of September 25th, is there a motion?
I move approval.
Second.
Further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Meeting schedule 4.2.
Yes, so this is Kathleen. This is a follow-up to the discussion. I believe it was last week or the week before. We did put out a draft calendar just for the public's view as well as the council. The yellow on the highlighted yellow parts on the calendar are items that are not do not have a deadline of this year. If you scroll down and see November, I don't think we have any yellows. It's all mandatory deadlines, mostly tied to the budget. But I think to help, we're maneuvering between the different offices and departments to see what can be pushed out or not. So we're going to continue to do that. But I do have a couple decision points for council and direction. The first one is regarding Board of Health. Historically, we have not had Board of Health meetings in November and December. If council does want to have one, we'll have to have a special meeting as Thanksgiving is the normal November timeframe. So my question to council is, do you want to have a Board of Health meeting or do you want to cancel November and December?
So what are your comments, council?
My feeling is that we shouldn't go for 2 months without a Board of Health meeting. Could we incorporate it, Kathleen, into an existing meeting rather than adding an additional?
It's going to be hard because you're going to be having 2 to 3 work sessions every Wednesday.
Maybe what we could incorporate is an update in that event. They're
So I
short.
would concur with the point Karen just made. We had a fairly brief update this morning, despite a heavy set of work sessions, and it seemed to work out okay. I don't think we should go a couple months without a Board of Health meeting either.
Yeah, a couple of months is much too long, I think, as well.
Okay, so if council prefers, I'll add it on a Wednesday, but have them keep it succinct and less than 15 minutes. Is that acceptable?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, and we'll find a time in November for that.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Okay, the second item is November 12th in the afternoon is your placeholder for council meetings. We may need to use this as well for work sessions or public hearings. And I will just ask on this one, let staff know if you have a conflict because we may need to use that this year. And note the 11th is a holiday as well, the Monday. So then the third direction for today is the last meeting for 2025. Historically, our last meeting is the budget hearing. This year, it's always scheduled the first week of December. This year, it is scheduled for December 3rd. We also have the 4th if needed. And so I'm looking at, the recommendation would be go ahead and use that one as our last meeting. But of course, if there's something that comes up that we need to have a special meeting, we can certainly provide the 24 hours notice and schedule that. Is council okay with that direction?
Fine with me. How about
Fine with-
other comments?
Fine with me.
I'm not going to comment on the last meeting of the year because it makes me a little sad.
Oh,
I'll bet you too, Chair.
I don't know. I was thinking more of the word jubilant.
Oh, no.
So, Sue, Glenn,
Works for me.
Yes, it works for me as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That's all on this item.
all right. So going to new business 5.1, James Lee Hansen.
Good afternoon, Council. This is Jordan Bogey for the record. This is sort of new and also sort of not. So several weeks ago, Council did give thumbs up guidance that they would like to support the Clark County Arts Commission in their Lifetime Achievement Award of James Lee Hansen by declaring a proclamation. And they are doing that celebration this weekend. This is the final text, and so would look to see if council has any edits, or if not, thumbs up for approval.
Thumbs up from me.
Thumbs up for me.
Okay, looks universal. Glenn, you're okay with the word?
Yeah.
Verbiage? Perfect. Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you.
Not many World War II veterans left, so I'm glad we're able to make this recognition.
Right. And just a reminder, I plan to attend the event this Sunday, so I'm looking forward to that.
Great.
Super. All right, moving on to councilor reports.
I have a couple of brief items.
Yes, please.
Yes, a couple of weeks ago, I was invited for a ribbon cutting for a new business that's opened up, Summit Truck Body. They're located on Northeast 10th, just a little south of the fairgrounds. They have moved their business from the Portland area, consolidated and expanded under one roof at this new location. So it's a great company. It's employer owned, good wages. 65 of their employees already live in Clark County, so their commute will be shortened. So it's a step in the right direction. And also I want to acknowledge CREDC, Clint Hendricks, who was also there for the ribbon cutting, was very helpful in lining up all the information they needed to locate there. So it was a great event. And then I just wanted to follow up. Councillor Young and I had the opportunity to attend a statewide local Board of Health training that was very good. I think as we move forward, I know there's going to be a retreat and briefing of the new counselors, but I think we have some good information and broader context and understanding of the role of public health and their funding sources. So it's time well spent, I think.
Thank you, Councilor Marshall. Other reports?
I have a report. Last
Please.
night we attended the C-Tran board meeting, and one of the things, it was a very brief meeting, but one of the things that was mentioned during the meeting is that the bus wraps that currently wrap several of the C-Tran buses that you'll see around town are going to be discontinued due to environmental concerns associated with the wrap, some of the chemicals that are on there, and also the cost, with the exception of the wrap, the MLK wrap, the WSU wrap, and the Clark College wrap. So you will still see those 3 wraps on C-Tran buses around town. Other than that, it will just be the regular painted C-Tran logo on the outside of the buses. That's it for me.
Thank you, Michelle. I do want to just tag on to that a little bit because I was at that meeting as well. One, there were connectivity issues. I had a hard time signing in it again, and there was trouble with public comment. I still don't have an answer as to what happened with that as well. One of the notes, if I heard correctly, I did have connectivity issues that somewhat surprised me, especially in light of the article today on Vancouver's budget challenges, is the fact that they're in discussions of buying the transit station. The city of Vancouver is buying this transit station over on 136, I think it is. So that was somewhat of a surprise, especially in light of the bridge request and that purchase as well that's being contemplated. But I just wanted to note that and highlight it since the public really didn't tune in to C-Tran's meeting last night, as short as it was. Glenn, did you have any reports?
Just, a quick briefing, which you're welcome to do as well. You serve with me on the Mental Health Sales Tax Advisory Board. We have had our interviews, we've done our scoring, and we've had we had the applications, we scored them, and then we had some interviews with some individuals. So we are moving expeditiously forward in that process.
Thank you. There's a lot more work than the public realizes that staff does, as well as all of the stakeholders at that board process. And then obviously it goes to this council for approval ultimately. I did want to highlight one other event that I went to. I don't know if any of the rest of the councilors were there, but as we all attend fundraisers from time to time, this one was, oh my gosh, it was beyond belief, the community support that I saw for the Humane Society. And we recently had them do a presentation to us at a work session. And I don't have a tally for you as to what they raised, but there were hundreds of people at their gala event at the casino, which was hosted by the Cowlitz tribe. And I think they underwrote the whole event, but they raised an incredible amount of money from the general public, showing the strength of the support in the community, not only for the topic, but for what our local Humane Society is doing for Southwest Washington. It was an incredible event. I look forward to seeing what they brought in totality, including there's a whole new, I think it's going to be on 99th. They're going to have basically another treatment facility named after the Nurembergs, who I understand are the main contributors for building the facility. So monumental work by our local Humane Society. I did want to highlight it, especially because of the work session that we just recently had with them. So does that conclude councilor reports? Sounds like it. Work session requests.
None today.
Policy updates. Back to Jordan.
Good afternoon again, Council. Jordan Bogie again. For the record, I've got just 3 quick updates for you today. Just a couple things I wanted to tee up The first is that we are looking at having the legislative delegation come down for their pre-session conversation and briefing with the council on November 14th. So that's the date we're currently looking at from 10:30 to noon. And so look for more updates to come, but I've already got calendar holds on all of your work calendars, but we're moving forward with that to get that scheduled this fall. The second item I would like to tee up is that the Greater Vancouver Chamber of Commerce, they are having their legislative outlook event on December 5th, early in the morning of December 5th. And so for those that are interested in attending, you can follow up and we can make sure that we get all that registration process done so that all the counselors who want to attend that can. And then the final update I have for you today is just teeing up something that came up at ECHO this week. We have started talking about the legislative requests, different things that some of the different member jurisdictions are doing. And one of the things that came up that wasn't actually a legislative request was from the Vancouver Housing Authority. And they are trying to currently move away. So right now, you know, they can operate in the city of Vancouver and then 5 miles outside of the city as their charter is written. They are looking for, instead of doing one-off authorizations for projects, as has been done in the past, they're looking to move away from that and move to a general approval from different jurisdictions. And so that would be each of the non-Vancouver cities in the county, as well as the unincorporated county. And so I think there's going to be some more information that will be coming your way on that topic for you to consider. But I just wanted to tee that up as something that is an emerging issue for folks to think about. And unless there are any questions, that's what I've got for you.
I would just add a comment to that. This would just remove one additional hurdle when a project is being developed. It goes through all of the permitting processes, but it just will streamline things a little bit in the other jurisdictions outside of the city of Vancouver.
Chair, you might be muted. We still are unable to hear you.
Try a third time.
Yes.
There
we
it
got
is.
you again.
Okay, yeah, it showed that I was unmuted. I'm going to leave that button alone. But anyway, we have executive sessions. There's 4 of them, totaling about 40 minutes, 2 with possible after action. So the first 9.1, potential litigation for 42.30.110, paren 1, paren little I for 5 minutes, and that's one of the possible actions. 9.2, same RCW for 15 minutes, no action. And then 9.3 is RCW 42.30.110, paren 1, paren little g for 5 minutes with possible after action. And then 9.4, finally, 42.30.110, paren 1, paren little g for 15 minutes. So it is almost 1:30. Let's plan on returning back at 2:05. We'll see if we can stay on schedule.
Chairman Rajiv,
Please.
excuse me, this is Leslie. I believe that adds up to 40 minutes. So maybe, I guess you're right. That would be 40
Yeah,
minutes.
so let's try 2:15
Oh,
or 2:10. How about 2:10? We'll negotiate this. It's kind of like the live auction I just attended.
did I add it?
2:10, will that take care of it, Leslie? Do you think?
Okay, I'm just understanding from the county manager that my math is incorrect. So it should be 2:05. You were correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. 2:05 it is. All right. We'll see you in executive session.
Oh, let me start it.
Hello, everyone. The chair has asked us to announce that the executive session is going to be extended for an additional 10 minutes, and open session will reconvene at 2:15. Thank you. Hello, everyone. The chair has asked us again to announce that the executive session is going to be extended for another 5 minutes, and open session will begin or reconvene at 2:20. Thank you. Hello again. The chair has again asked us to announce that the executive session will be extended for an additional 5 minutes, and open session will reconvene at 2:25. Thank you.
Okay, so we're back in session, assuming you can hear me. I see a positive head nod. Okay. And I understand there's a motion.
Yeah, Chair, I would like to move to approve the proposed settlement agreement and release of all claims relating to the lawsuit entitled Penny Deanna Campbell Huff versus Clark County, and authorize the county manager to sign the agreement on behalf of the county.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries and we stand adjourned.